Hey guys, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon. So last time we finally saw the church, I guess. They're finally moving. They went in front of Shiki's house and asked him, about Shiki. Arcuade also visited Shiki's school. A little funny scene there, and I guess we're gonna do, day 2? I'll say day 2 of Shiki and Arcuade's vampire hunting. We're gonna see. So anyways, let us continue. We wander the dark city. Arcuade seems to have a place in mind, but because she hasn't shared anything, it almost feels like a midnight stroll.
今夜はピンポイントで見てもらうわ。まずは騒がしい方ね。
She leads us into the commercial district near the station. We traverse the sleepless city, rich and vibrant even past 10. It's a veritable exhibition of modern culture, a buffet of light and sound, the white shadow unchanged after untold centuries. Makes her way through the city that's painted anew seemingly every few months. Untold centuries might be an overstatement. The phrase only came to mind because I've heard that vampires are immortal and long-lived.
シキ、あのビルを見て。6階建ての細い方。入っていく人間たちに線は見える？
普通だな。死者は出入りしてない。
外れね。次に行きましょう。はい、メガネかけて。先は長いんだからあんまり無理しないように。
Like she mentioned this afternoon, Arcuade has a good idea of where the zombies patrol. She wants to check out 6 places. The first 2 were a bust, but the third spot, a building with rentable offices, paid off. One of the security guards entering on a news office was an absolute cluster of lines. Arcuade understood it just from the look on my face, so she had me wait in the hall while she entered the room, exiting casually just a minute later.
ごめんなさい。ここも外れ。低級の式だった。この辺りは昨日借り尽くしたから完全に警戒されたわね。
So they're not really showing us the fight, I guess? Arcuade shrugs. She hides it well, but I sense that she feels discouraged. Discouraged because I guess, yeah, they haven't found anything or anyone.
何よ、ニヤニヤして。私の失敗が楽しいの？
いや、違うよ。いつも気楽なお前でも気を落とすことがあるんだなって。
それどういう意味？私だって人並みに壊したり潰したりしますよだ。
I wish she'd phrase that as happy and sad, but that's just too tall an order for this vampire princess. We sneak out of the building and make for our next destination. It's just before midnight. We see fewer pedestrians and the neon lights begin to shut off one by one. Car taillights pass us by. Arcuade steps in time with them, as if to follow them home. Honestly, with me playing this, with this game, vampires and all, I want to watch a lot of vampire shows. I remember I watched back then Blood Sea. Was it Blood Sea or Blood Plus? Something like that. Very violent show, yes. Try it if you want, but yeah, there were vampires in that show. We've now investigated 5 spots to no avail, which means we only have 1 chance left. We seem to be headed to a residential area. Arcuade, it doesn't say anything, but I get the idea that she was saving this one for a last reason.
しかし、分かってはいたけどまだるっこしいな。足で調査するしかないなんて、前時代的にも程がある。
昔から吸血鬼退治は面倒なものだもの。 町のどこかにある親元の棺を探し当てるんだから、そう簡単には終わらないわ。
そっか、ならいい。って別に嫌がってるわけじゃないぞ。単にアルクエイドも大変だなって思っただけで。
私は別に大変じゃないよ。決められた作業だもの。手順を踏んでいけばきちんと終わるものだし。
All I can manage to respond is, Arcoade is all business when it comes to hunting vampires, so she'll do whatever it takes as long as it produces results. Just because she can leap 10 meters into the air doesn't mean she's itching to skip the legwork. Now that I think about it, it was the same when I first met her. She had fully integrated into human society during her search for vampires, even though she could have done what Vlov did if she'd felt like it.
ってなんだよ、人の顔をジロジロ見て。ちゃんと前向いてないと転ぶぞ。
やっぱりこれって不思議なことよね。ねえ、式は私といて平気なの？吸血鬼退治とか怖くないの？
は
あ？ A baffled grunt escapes my throat. She's asking me this now? Am I okay being with her? I don't even have to think about it.
別に平気かどうかなんてただの襟好みだろ。俺たちは利害が一致した協力関係なんだし。そりゃ吸血鬼は怖いけど、町のためなら我慢するぞ。
Arcoade accepts my answer with a faint nod. The conversation stops there. We walk through the empty streets in silence. We're far from the station now. These 2 hours haven't been very productive, but somehow it doesn't feel like we've wasted our time. Even if we didn't address the root of the problem, we've at least stopped it from getting worse for today. That must be the reason behind this strange sense of accomplishment.
でも、気を使わなくていいのはいい。
I finally give voice to a feeling I'd never expressed.
式？
だから、気楽だってこと。俺は根本的にろくでなしだからさ。お前みたいに頑丈な奴がいてくれると、なんていうか。
I feel truly at ease. Everything I see is broken. How I look at the world is polluted. I shouldn't be here. When I'm with her, it feels like the conclusions I've come to this past 7 years began to fade.
ねえねえ、それってつまり私が式を楽しくさせてるってこと？
逆。な、おっかない吸血鬼と一緒なんだぞ。災難極まってるだろ。気が楽っていうのは、どう転んだって今以下にはならないってことだよ。
おっかないってどの辺が？
山ほどある。殺しても生き返ってひたすら追いかけてくるとか、3000度の高熱をあちちで済ますところとか、ガムテープとかビルの屋上まで駆け上がるところとか、駅前をお釈迦にするところとか。
And you gave everything you had to protect me and the town from Vlov's ice.
岩盤をちゃぶ台返しするところとか、人の体によくわかんないものを塗りつけたりとか、あと昼間に学校に来るところとか。
はい、そこまでで結構です。式の気持ちはよくわかりました。
いいのか？ まだもうちょっとだけあるぞ。
いいわよ、自覚あるから。なんだ、どうせ私は吸血鬼ですものね。
Arcade picks up her pace, walking briskly ahead of me.
待てってば。お前が本気になったら追いつかないぞ、俺。
I follow her, half jogging. Turns out our sixth destination was just up ahead. Okay. Hopefully. Okay, the music kinda became a little bit different now. There it is, in the middle of the neighborhood. A typical 4-story apartment complex. Nothing out of the ordinary. There look to be 4 apartments per floor with lights visible in most of their windows. The people who live here are still awake, spending their time as they please. But as someone looking in from the outside, there's no way of knowing whether that involves any shady business. I look at the lines. The strain it puts on my brain makes me nauseous. This place, it seems wrong. There's nothing unusual about the lines running across the building, but it feels somehow lifeless. There's something unnatural about the brightness emanating from the interior, or from the strangely concentrated lines of death scrolled across the woman just now entering the apartment complex.
そう、やっぱり当たりね。
Instead of going to the entrance of the apartment complex, Arcuade heads down the slope leading to the underground garage. The garage is guarded by a metal shutter.
普通のマンションだけど、ここなのか、アルクエイド。
ええ、このシャッター、人よけと消臭の結界がかかってる。あれはカメラかな。私の姿を捉えてるけど、中の死者たちにもう逃げる時間はない。昼間、私一人でやってきていたら逃げられていたでしょうけど。
Bending down, she places her hands under the shutter. Is she really going to pull the shutter up by...
シキ、このシャッター切れる？
そりゃ切れるけど、いいのか？
ええ、私よりシキが敵に。無理やり開けると警報が鳴るでしょ。
I mean, good point. Arcuade is pretty good at keeping her cool under pressure.
シキはガレージの入り口にいて。ここが巣なら、中には10体近いアンデッドがいるはず。相手が1体だけならシキの方が強いけど、2体以上になると不利でしょうから。
別に俺はそこまで。まあいいか。わかった。切るぞ。
I cut along a line on the shutter. Metal meets concrete with a clatter. I peer into the pitch black through the opening I just cut.
なんだ、この匂い。
A foul stench hits my nostrils. The garage reeks of rotting meat and rancid blood. I see several squirming clusters of lines within. Look at that. So I guess this place is... This is the base. Yeah, look at those people. They just go home. The sound of the shutter being sliced open seems to have caught their attention. There are 22 of them, a lot of them, with this many undead. There's no doubt that their sire is here with them too.
アルクエイド、予想より数が多い。ここが根城なんだろう。ならやっぱり俺も。
ここは根城じゃないわ。ただの食堂よ。
A feeding ground.
大丈夫。起きたばっかりの節なんて虫みたいなものだし。シキはそこで待ってて。すぐ片付けちゃうから。
Feeding ground, so they bring the people they victimize here? My brain has difficulty keeping up with the incomprehensible scene in front of me. Something so beautiful yet so grotesque. Like a figure skater performing in a graveyard full of decay. A throng of undead approaches their guest. She conducts a symphony of snapped bones with a single swing of her arm. A cacophony of fangs clattering to find their prey, the sound of splitting flesh, and somehow even within the mist of gore, a white shadow untouched by a single fleck of blood. It takes my breath away no matter how many times I see it. Of course, these corpses don't stand a chance against her. Their abilities are too mismatched, their viewpoints too dissimilar, their very existence reside in different dimensions. As if the word unparalleled was coined for her and her alone. To our Kuwait, this vampire stand, or that exist, only to drink blood, must be no different from humans. They're prey and nothing more. Another current of pain runs through my brain, and it's what I get for going without my glasses for so long, but I can't put them back on yet. Arcuade may have said she could take them all by herself, but there are still more than 10 of them left. It will take her less than a minute to deal with the rest of them at her current pace, but just in case... Is she tired? Something's wrong. Arcuade's movements are slowing. She hasn't been injured. The zombies can't even get close to her in the first place. But even still... Her face appears to distort with pain with every enemy she rends. All of them fall to her terrible onslaught. The next thing I know, there's only one left. They shouldn't require excessive force. A zombie of this caliber ought to perish a single slash of her claws. And yet... Perhaps seeing the fight's end, the white silhouette pulverizes the humanoid, holding nothing back. It's over. But yeah, look at Arcuade though. Like, is she struggling or what? Standing center stage of the carnage is Arcuade. Her breath still ragged, she finally loosens her shoulders. That idiot, I don't know what was going on in that head of hers, but she exhausted too much of her strength. Now, like, why is she tired like this is what I'm saying. When we fought Vlov, yeah, she lost first, right? But afterwards, like, she didn't look like she was tired like this. She was even smiling, right? Or hurling rocks, throwing rocks. Not the rocks, but yeah, the ground basically. She was throwing it at Vlov back then, and she was laughing, smiling. But now, she defeated, like, yeah, these zombies are kinda easy, but look how tired she is. She could have used a tenth of what she used just now and still finished things without breaking a sweat.
Arcuedo.
I quietly call her name from the entrance.
あ、どう？見ててくれたしき。今夜はこれで終わりだし、あなたの前だし、いつもより張り切ってやっちゃった。
お前な、こんな物騒な張り切っちゃったとか初めて聞いたぞ。
I sigh. She really is a troublemaker. How am I supposed to respond to the idea that she just wanted to show off to me?
まあ、確かにちょっと見とれたのは事実だ
What? Oh, there's one more. It's a big one though. It's a different one. The cheerful mood is cut short. My thoughts seize and my mind blanks. Something strange and unspeakable draws my attention. When did it get here? Or rather, how long have I failed to see it? Yeah, that thing is a little bigger though. Look at it. Has a stomach, I mean. A panther appearing in the back alley. Flaming corpses. Dead things in the form of human beings. I've seen my share of abnormalities these past few days. I've experienced a lot of things for the first time as well. Yet those were all based in reality. They're variations of what I know, mere extensions of common sense. This thing, it's different. The air it exudes is too irregular. It belongs neither here in Soya, or neither here in Soya nor in Arcawade's world. It's shaped like a person. Honestly, it looks like those aliens, right? Yeah, it kind of looked like that. Its stench is like that of a zombie. But a humanoid as it is, it's discarded any claim as a Homo sapien. I don't sense any respiratory functions. I can't see how it would react to the light. Yet my instincts grasp that this beast is built to be a predator. While I've never seen anything like it, it does remind me of something I know. A spider. Oh yeah, it kind of looks like a spider though. Yeah, the head. I see it now. My mind is still frozen. I can't quite remember how to work my throat. The muscles in its abdomen flex and ripple. The mass of bulging flesh isn't body fat but many muscular arms. Strange fleshy tubes like writhing invertebrates. The moment I recognize it for what it is, I shout. Arcawade turns to look, sensing the aberration behind her. The monster's tentacle shoots up like a whip, cracking at the back of Arcawade's neck. It's quick but not quick enough to catch Arcawade completely off guard. Arcawade's claws fly to meet the limb of flesh. The same claws that cut through the zombie's flesh as easily as scrap paper. But her rending claws are unable to sever the scourging tendril. Rather, the deflected whip keeps its inertia, brutally lashing across the woman's back. I hear a trigger fire at the back of my skull. This zombie is an aberration, that's one thing. Its skin is unusually resilient, that's another. The zombie is on a different level. That's yet another level of repugnance. But more than anything else, its second and third arm threaten to come down and end Arcawade's life. No way. That's stupid. She's stupid. If she hadn't pushed herself, she would never have gotten into this position. Breathing is ragged. She's taking hits even I could avoid. Thank God I'm not wearing my glasses. I probably would have broken them in anger if I was. The aberration leaps into the air, seemingly enjoying itself. A vulgar grin pulls at its lips. Having found prey, it wouldn't normally be able to hunt. That's mine. It's my fault. That's my job. I'm going to. I killed her. I brought her down, but she still forgave me. Trash like me, who killed her for simple pleasure. And now? Don't touch her with those disgusting things. I cut without thought, without any wasted movement, like an animal driven by pure instinct. Am I running? Is it chasing me? That's fine, there's no hesitation in my steps. A second strike from the beast, short and fast, unlike the equivalent of a jab in boxing. An action that maximizes speed with minimal movement, not particularly powerful, but too fast for the eye to register, too fast to react to. But that's not the issue for me. If I can't dodge it, I can just cut through it. I pursue the figure in front of me, a crimson cluster of tightly packed lines of death. Without even thinking, I'm slashing a potent line. There goes its left leg, dead, despite how wary I'd been before it. Now all I have left to fear is its bite, but I'm already close enough to reach. I stab the point of trumming just up and to the right of its navel. There are no dead crows. The aberration simply collapses to the ground like a mechanical doll with its batteries removed. Honestly, why did we go out if our Kuwait is like this, right? Not 100%. I finally let out the breath that I've been holding all this time. I'm surrounded by lumps of rotting flesh. The thing I killed is gone, vanished into ash. Considering the bodies of the zombies killed by our Kuwait still remain, it seems that this one was indeed special. But I killed it. I snuffed the life out of the aberration without faltering for a second. My mind still won't process things properly. This was pure violence. A mad rush without a single thought spared towards the lesson that Master taught me, an action fueled by the murderous rage I've tried so hard to quell. Regret, remorse, hatred, despair, it will all return with a vengeance once I've calmed down. But I'm fine with that. I am. As long as our Kuwait is safe. This is the first time. Just now, I used my power to save someone in full control of myself, and with no hesitation. I look back to find our Kuwait breathing heavily, her shoulders trembling.
大丈夫かアルクエイド
I'm at her side in an instant. She holds her heaving chest like she's in pain, like suffering, or like a suffering animal that knows nothing but how to gasp air.
バカ油断しすぎだあんな考えなしで暴れるから大丈夫か体の傷開いちまったのか
Her back is shivering. This is bad. For one, she's completely drenched in sweat. Worried that our Kuwait hurt herself, I lean in to take a good look and... Why is she always laughing, man? She's laughing again. Like we thought she was in trouble, and then here we go. Laughing yet again. This is what she did with love, though. Think she's injured, and then she was laughing. Like this.
おい。
もう、仕切ったらけだもの。今のすごい、ちょっとすごすぎると思う。
Oh my god, that was too much. Now, this is just cruel. Arcade wasn't doubled over in pain. She was trying to hold back her laughter.
嘘泣きとか、お前人間社会に毒されすぎてないか？というかそうだよな。心配した俺がバカだった。頑丈なお前があれぐらいで痛がるはずないもんな。
あ、ひどい。痛いのは本当だったんだから。あとちょっと追い込まれていたら、誰かさんに切られたお腹がまた開いていたところよ。
That's not fair. No matter what I say, I'm still to blame, so I accept my defeat in silence.
はいはい。わかりました。俺が悪うございましたとも。さっきのバカ笑いはどうあれ、お前が無事でよかったよ。
My mouth opens fire before I can help myself. And after I do, she's back to wearing that usual enigmatic grin.
なんだよ。まだ何かあるのか。
うん。それと、嘘泣きじゃないよ。嬉しいのも本当。だって、式がすごく頼りになるんだもん。
My cheeks are burning. I turn away to try and counter the sudden ambush.
何？どうかした式？
どうもしてない。ちょっと暑いんで。ほら。
What an excuse. That was genuinely terrible. Though for now, I can't bring myself to look at our Kuwait. I bring my hands to my face to hide my burning cheeks, but it only serves to heat them more. What's with the look, and what is she thinking? As if being good at killing is something to be praised. Read the room. You're evil, a witch, and why the hell am I still happy about it? I need to calm down and chill out.
よし、落ち着いた。で、これからどうしよっか。ほら、ここが敵の本拠地じゃないにしても、中に入って手がかりを探すとか。
そうね。人が来る前に調べてもいいかも。棺の手がかりはないでしょうけど、他の食堂の場所が。
I can't do this. The throbbing in my chest won't calm down. My face is burning up. I'm growing more lightheaded by the second. Arcoade's voice feels like it's passing me by. But what am I supposed to do? Anyone would be smitten being told that with that kind of smile. The pain in my head, the heaviness in my arms and legs, it's all because of...
式？ちょっと大丈夫？
I passed out again?
すごい熱。あの死者、そんなに見えにくい相手だったの？
いや、そんなことはなかったけど、お前、なんか、近くない。
Sorry, I can barely move my head. I'm conscious, but my brain feels like it's stuffed with cotton, completely dulling my senses.
ここの調査はやめて、休憩にしましょう。どうせ手がかりなんて残さないやつだし、今日は食堂を潰せただけで十分よ。 これだけの働きアリを失ったらしばらく活動はできないし、もう自分から外に出てくるしかなくなるわ。
I mean, that's a lot already, though. Yeah, a lot they accomplish in this day. A whole feeding ground? She pulls me away by the arm. I nod vaguely and we leave the garage and the sea of body parts within. I rest on a bench. Full feeling returns on my arms and legs after about 30 minutes. I didn't notice it myself, but it seems that staring at the aberration's lines really did a number on me. Arcuade stands in front of the bench. She's been staring at me since we arrived.
あのな、アルクエイド。めまいも消えたんだし、そのいかにも俺が悪いって顔はもうやめてくれ。そもそも、あの時はああでもしないと傷が開いたんだろ、お前。
あれは言葉のあや。あんな編集ぐらい何とでもできたわ。そんなことよりあなたの体よ。昨日の話ちゃんと覚えてる？
目を使いすぎるなって話だろ。わかってる。俺だって廃人にはなりたくない。次からは気をつける。
はあ、鈍感にも程がある。あなたに危機感を植え付けるのは難儀そうね。ま、一番身近にして最高級の死に慣れているんだから、それも当然か。ほんと、どうしてやろうかしら。一度思いっきり怖がらせてあげましょうか。
Why is she so resentful about this? Can someone explain it to me?
最高級の恐怖なら、お前に追いかけられた時のでお腹いっぱいだよ。この目が危険だってことも、言われなくともわかってる。
I've lived with him for 7 years now.
さっきのだって、いつもならめまいは起こさなかった。あれは単に。
I don't think it was from looking at the lines too much. I was just overwhelmed from everything with Arcuade.
単に、何？
単に、歩き尽くしで疲れていただけだ。お前は平気だろうけど、人間は疲れるんだよ。2時間歩きっぱなしだと。
それならいいけど、四季ってたまに自分を客観視しすぎてない？その魔眼のせいで自分嫌いになってるとか？
いや、自分が嫌いになれたら、目のことで悩んだりはしないだろう。言っておくけど、俺は自分のことも周りのことも、やけになって見たことは一度もないよ。
そうなんだ。ちょっと意外。
I'm sure it is. But this is a question of dignity of having a place to belong. Someone once said that even a person like me has a reason to live. That's why I don't want to fall into despair or hate myself. It may be a small thing to live my life, but it's brought me this far.
それに、この目だってそんなに悪いことばかりでもないし。裸眼でいると色々と不都合があるけど、食欲が薄れるのは手間が省けて楽だよ。もともと小食だから相性はいいと思う。
魔眼による食欲の減少と持って生まれた消化機能の関係は私にはわからないけど。
ああ、いや、ごめん。今のは冗談というか、本気で取られると恥ずかしいというかですね。
真面目な話よ。あなたの目は後天的なものと言っていたけど、それは現れるのが遅かっただけの話かもしれない。
Okay.
現れるのが遅かっただけ？
ええ。超能力は突然変異体だけど、それにだって誕生する土壌が必要なの。
Remember when we saw that flashback? It's not really a flashback, but technically like a scene, right? Just one scene. When I guess it was Akiha and then Shiki in the forest, right? And then there was a lot of blood. Maybe his mystic eyes manifested that day, right?
四季のような目を持つ先祖はいなかったとしても、似通った目を持った親はいたかもしれない。魔術師は知識と身体回路を子供に移植するけど、あなたのような異能は交配による遺伝子だけで伝わっていって、覚醒遺伝として現れる場合が多いから。
交配による遺伝子。つまり、親父から？
I mean, maybe. From the Tono family.
というより、あなたの一族全体の話ね。
Let's say your great-great-great-grandfather had, I guess, the same mystic eyes of depth perception, right? Is what it's called? So maybe, yeah, someone in their family way back then had it, and the only one who awakened it next was Shiki, right?
家系の中であなただけ特別という考え方の方が不自然よ。あなたに異能があるのなら、あなたの家系すべてが特別と考えるべき。四季の家族ってそういう人たちなんじゃないの？
I can't help but laugh at the question. She wants me to believe that this is all genetic, that Akiha or Makihisa have eyes like mine. I'm 100% positive that's not the case. I'm the only weird one in the family. Besides, without my accident, I'd never have gotten these eyes in the first place, so they weren't inherited at all, more like a side effect.
でも、忠告は受け取っておく。ありがとう、アルクエイド。
何？いきなりかしこまって。私、あなたにとって嫌な話をしたと思うんだけど。
嫌な話じゃなかったよ。全部、俺の体を気遣ってくれてのことだったからさ。今日の学校での事前調査だって、俺に無理させたくなかったんだろ。お前だって昼間は辛いのに。だから、ありがとう。ここまでされてやっと気がつくあたり、お礼を言える立場でもないけど。でも、そういうアルクエイドはどうなんだ？腹の傷、本当に塞がってるんだろうな。
そっちはちゃんと塞がってるけど、なんで？
いや、さっき調子悪そうだったから。何もされてないのに苦しそうだったというか、イライラしていたというか。
I feel a strange sting in my chest. It's not painful, if anything, it's ticklish.
四季？
いや、なんだこれ。
I stick my hand into my shirt without thinking. It's slimy. Why? My fingers are coated in something thick and sticky like paint.
なんだろう。なんか、濡れてる。
I pull my hand from my shirt. From my fingers to my palm is that blood. It's liquid crimson blood. Where did it get damaged? Another sting. That strange feeling again. It took me far longer than it should have to recognize that it's coming from the old scar on my chest.
四季、それ。
変だな。痛くもないし、傷も開いてないのに、胸から血が滲んでる。
That even Arquade is like, what is happening to you? It's so red, a bright pure eye catching liquid.
ああ、さっきのやつの爪がかすっていたとか。痛みはないんだし、血もこれしか滲んでこないみたいだし、気にする必要は。
Arquade is staring at my hand. Or perhaps more accurately, she is utterly fixated on the crimson liquid that covers it.
アルクエイド。
Because it's blood. She doesn't answer. Her breathing is slow and labored. Like it's messing with her, right? I mean, they're vampires still. Even though she said that she doesn't drink blood. I guess, yeah, with someone that close to you and then there's blood, I guess. Her instincts are kicking in. Heavy shaking breaths like it's hurting her to breathe.
おい、アルクエイド。どうした？やっぱり傷が痛んで。
I grab her shoulder. But when I do, it's my, yeah, I think it's the instincts of Arcoade being a vampire and then Shiki having blood. Like she can't, like she's trying hard not to do anything, I guess. She quickly brushes my hand away, fleeing my concern.
アルクエイド。
She pushes out my name between her shallow breaths, a hint of hostility ringing through her tone.
違う。私、そんなこと思ってない。
Yeah, look at her eyes. I guess what she's thinking is, I would drink Shiki's blood. What is this? Arcoade looks away uneasily.
どうしたんだよ。変だぞ、お前。体、まだ回復してないんじゃないのか。
そうね。ちょっと無理しすぎたみたい。
She's gonna leave now, instantly.
だから、私帰るね。
ああ。まあ、どうせ今夜はこれでおしまいだって言ってたけど。
うん。また明日、ここで待ってる。
She jumped away. She's gone before I can stop her. And going after her was never an option. Without even giving me another look, she leaped into the night sky. Like a rabbit hopping across the moon. Yeah, it was, I guess, it was the blood. She was so uncomfortable in that situation because of that. Like, even though she doesn't drink blood, who knows, maybe it's because it's Shiki's blood, someone she knows? Or maybe it's just because of the blood in general. I don't know, but yeah, she was being very uncomfortable there. Climbing the hill to the mansion, I eventually reached the main entrance. It's a little past 2 in the morning. My fatigue is really starting to set in now.
あれ？しまった。正門が閉まってる。
How come? It was still open when I came home late yesterday. I mean, you said to Hisui yesterday that don't lock the gate, but now we lied, right? Remember that? That's why Hisui closed it, I guess?
オートロックは切っておいたんだけどな。
It's possible the locking mechanism was changed. Either way, I'm stuck now. I could try to climb over, but I'm sure that would cause the security system to go off. I'd also rather not kill the lock. If they found a broken lock on the gate, that would definitely be cause for an emergency family meeting. I should only use my eyes as a last resort.
この屋敷、裏門とかなかったっけ？
Dude, if you had a back entrance, it would be kilometers away. Wait, he's actually gonna try to find a back entrance? I prop my back against the wall to take a break. I've been following the estate's walls, but after all that happened today, I'm starting to get dizzy. It's a familiar dizziness, a sure sign of my anemia acting up. I'm having trouble breathing too. I love to lie down, but that's not an option right now. If there's a back entrance, I haven't found it yet. Just how far does this wall go? I'm only now starting to truly appreciate how massive this place is. There may be no choice but to follow the main road around, climb the hill and enter through the forest. According to the map on my phone, it's about a 3-kilometer walk from here.
体力持つといいんだけど。
Dude, if you're that rich, like, you don't have any walls behind the house, is that it? Come on. I'd really like to avoid walking through the woods in the dark. There are street lamps as long as I'm following the road, but I won't be able to count on them in the forest. When I think about walking in the entrance, oh my god, what is that? You see that? Shivers go up my spine. That's strange. There's something standing there between the street lamps where neither light reaches. There's a person. Oh, it's coming closer though. My blood is flowing at double its usual speed, or perhaps that's just another illusion. It's definitely a person, but I can't see anything other than that. There's something strange about the silhouette. It's getting closer. The sound of hollow footsteps. Its only exposed eye is bloodshot and fixed on me. The blade of my knife is set loose. My other hand goes to the temple of my glasses. There's a line there, see that? Yeah, you gotta do it. A centipede-like chill crawls its way up my back. With one final step, the figure crosses the point of no return. That very moment, the light from the street lamps vanishes with an audible click. The moon is hidden behind a veil of clouds. The world has plunged into darkness. My heart races as if to inform me of my rapidly approaching demise. Dizziness glues my feet in place as though I were trudging through mud. Though I try to retreat, my body is too slow to respond. A knife cuts the darkness. The wet sound of flesh being pierced come from somewhere above my heart. I don't understand. I can just barely wrap my head around the fact that a knife is sticking out of my chest. He died. The moon pierces through the cloud cover for only a moment, illuminating the figure's form. A ghastly frame, utterly shrouded in blackness. But something feels familiar. That was the last thing I ever saw. Wait, what happens next? What, is it dead end? Dude, that was way too long. No, what I mean is the choices, right? Dude, that was from we lied to Hisui until there. It's like an hour of a dead end. Okay.
特に心当たりのないデッドエンドを迎えた遠野くんをお助けする Q&A コーナー。教えて、シエル先生の時間です。こんにちは、教官のシエルです。
Godcat。
さて、今回の死亡ですが、なぜこうなったかわかりますか、ゴッド？
紙だからわかんねえ。直前に選択肢もなかったし。
はい、これはちょっと珍しい数個前の選択が影響しているパターンです。
Yeah, a result from a while ago.
ただでさえ深夜の探索は感心できないというのに、お家の方に嘘までつくのは道徳的にアウト。心当たりがある遠野くんは該当する選択肢に戻って誠実に対応してみると良いでしょう。
嘘は良くない。正直が一番ってことだにゃ。まさにその通り。見ろよ、私にそっくりな吸血鬼ヒロインの心の綺麗さ。やっぱヒロインたるもの、嘘つかない、隠し事もしないが基本だよね。ね、そうは思いませんか、シエル先生。ところで何か言わなくてはいけないことがあるんじゃないかにゃ。にゃにゃにゃ、無駄無駄。素直な心には一発も当たらないにゃ。 なりに鋭いじゃないのさ。なるほど。実力は互角というところか。それでは今回はこの辺で。また次のデッドエンドで会いましょう。隠すのは体重と武器だけにして。
That was a very long dead end, man. That was different. Okay, so let us just test this out. Because when I went back, yeah, the actual flowchart, I couldn't. It didn't load. I mean, to this area. Yeah, it didn't load to this for some reason. So I guess we gotta see first how if the scenes are gonna be similar. But let me choose this one. Tell the truth. I'll tell her the truth. Even if I lied, I wouldn't be able to keep the truth from Hisui or Kohaku for so long. So I may as well let her know I'll be out tonight.
ああ、実はこれから何日か夜は出かけることになる。でも誓って悪い遊びをしているわけじゃない。秋葉には嫌われる一方だろうけど、途中でやめることはできないんだ。
That's right. There's a dangerous, mysterious vampire terrorizing our city, and our Kuwait is the only one who can do something about it. Above all, Asoya is my home, so I can just ignore what's going on.
翡翠にも迷惑をかけるけど、しばらくは見過ごしてくれると助かる。0時になったら帰ってくるから、玄関の鍵だけ開けておいてほしい。
私たちに理由は話せないというのですね。
そうだ。ごめんな、翡翠。だらしないやつだと思って、今は何も聞かないでほしい。
いえ、四季様は私の主人です。主人をだらしない方と蔑む使用人はおりません。
Hisui speaks dispassionately, her face as blank as ever. That's all there is to that, I guess. I nod my head to Hisui and start up the lobby stairs.
お待ちください。
I pause. Hisui calls out to me, her muted voice like never before.
その差し出がましいことなのですが。
She gonna say like, please be careful? Hisui clenches her hands as she looks over towards me.
四季様さえよろしければ、夜に出かけることを秋葉様にお隠しすることができます。
I mean, that's much better, because yeah, rather than Akiha always being worried.
それって口裏を合わせてくれるってこと？
はい。夕食後、秋葉様をお部屋からお出になることは稀です。就寝前の見回りは私と姉さんがしておりますから、その報告を怠ってしまえば、四季様のお部屋の様子は誰にもわからなくなります。
いや、そりゃ助かる。助かるけど、いいのか？秋葉は2人の雇い主じゃないか。
私の主人は四季様だと申し上げたはずですが。
I don't know about this, but I'm suddenly very happy that I decided to tell her the truth. Not only did she listen to my crappy reasoning, but she's even offering to aid me.
ありがとう、翡翠。そうしてくれるととても助かる。
それでは今夜からはこちらのカードキーをご利用ください。秋葉様の言いつけで屋敷の正門の暗証を変えたのです。こちらのカードキーでしたら深夜でも正門の鍵は外れます。
お、さすが秋葉。対応早いな。
And ruthless. That was close. If I had left without saying anything, I might not have been able to get back in.
私からの提案は以上です。夜の外出をお止めはいたしませんが、どうか怪我のないようお気をつけて。
Hisui bids me farewell with a bow.
やった。
I just got help from an unexpected source. Now I can leave the mansion without worrying Akia. So I guess I gotta check if the scenes are the same. Like after this, right? When he meets with Arcade, if it's the same, I'll just skip it. So, of course, obviously, so it doesn't happen twice. Okay, the scene was literally the same. No joke, like literally the same. So we skipped that. I just cut it off and then we'll continue here from here. Following the road up the hill from the residential district, I eventually reached the estate's outer wall. It's a little past 2 in the morning. My fatigue is really starting to set in now.
あいつ、あんなんで大丈夫なのかな。
Arcade's expression when we parted steadily weighs on my mind. Okay, this guy's already here for some reason. She didn't seem tired or in pain, but yeah, we didn't even reach the gate, right? That's strange. There's something standing there between the street lamps where neither light reaches. The first thing I feel is terror. The situation is so unnatural, so unreal, it feels like my heart will stop. Unfortunately, I'm already used to things like this. Masking my quickened pulse, I quietly take my knife in hand. Thump. My blood is flowing at double its usual speed, or perhaps that's just another illusion. It's definitely a person. But I can't see anything other than that. There's something strange about that silhouette. It's getting closer. Tap, tap, tap. The sound of the hollow footsteps. Its only exposed eye is bloodshot and fixed on me. Thump. The blade of my knife is set loose. My other hand goes to the temple of my glasses. A chill crawls its way up to my back like a centipede. With one final step, the figure crossed the point of no return. That very moment, the light from the street lamps vanishes with an audible click. Even though the moon is bright tonight, the world is plunged into darkness. My heart races as to inform me of my rapidly approaching demise. His blade races towards my left arm and near the bicep. My reason will have to catch up later. I bring my knife up to meet the flash streaking towards me through the darkness, deflecting it just in time. The edges of the shadow lips contort. Somehow I sense it's grinning, but I can't lose focus. I need to counter this thing. Although I'm surprised, I'm also perfectly calm. Not a second has passed since his figure came into sight. My thoughts have ceased, time has frozen over. I don't have a moment to waste on being shocked. The clashing of her blades sends sparks flying into the night air. Though this unnatural darkness conceals us both, I can see something shining brightly within it. Distinct shimmering junctions connecting the life underneath. I deflect the relentless blades exactly how I intend to. If there's one thing that astounds me, it's the fact that my body is able to stop these shrouded attacks so precisely even while I'm already this exhausted. Is my opponent simply easy to read? That may be part of it, but it's not all. My arm is simply following the map of lines and points that my eyes see. And in this complete darkness, they're all I can see, so I can focus on them alone. My head, it hurts terribly. My thoughts are on fire. My chest stings. My head hurts. My scar is hot. My eyes feel like they might spill from their sockets. But this feels similar. Sometime or something like this happened long ago. Yes, the body of a child covered in blood. Okay, this one. The flashback. Akiha bloodied and crying. My own blood-soaked hands. Oh, what is that? Metal crashes against metal. Pure instinct allows me to continue deflecting the blade. That was close. I blacked out there for a second. I won't let my guard down again. Because I know where it's aiming. I can parry every strike before my mind even catches up. The reason is simple. It's aiming for my body's lines. Wait, it also has that ability? That's why I know where it'll aim before it even moves. All I need to do is protect the lines it's most likely to be aiming for based on its posture and timing. The second I realize my enemy strategy, I finally speak.
お前、見えているのか?
I know it. The figure can see the exact same thing I do. Damn it. The shadow laughs in the darkness. Its bloodshot eyes stare me down mockingly, as if to say, so you finally noticed. Blood is rapidly pumped through my body. The corners of my lips rise in confluence of exaltation and fear. I see, then we're in equal terms. If either one hits their mark, it'll be over. But it doesn't matter to me, not anymore. So what if any of its cuts could kill me? If that was enough to scare me, I wouldn't be alive right now. I think of the sheer cold I endured before. Of love was far more impressive. This thing doesn't compare to a vampire like that, even if it might be the one Arc waits after. All things considered, I have the upper hand. Attack! Attack! I'm taking the offensive now. The figure is keeping up, but it's forced to dedicate everything to matching me. I can win. I don't know who this is or where they came from. But what I do know is that I'm cornering them. Goosebumps form on my skin. My heart races with the feeling of power. I can win. I'm stronger. I'm stronger. If this thing is going to kill me, then I'll just kill them first. I deflect my opponent's attack, disarming them. A step forward, a thrust of the knife bared like a fang at the now unprotected line before me. But something is odd. Why don't I feel any hesitation? Honestly, it's not even that. Like, why is there someone with the same ability as she here? The street lamps flicker back on, rousing my mind from its feverish state. There is no one in front of me. Wait, was it something he just dreamed of? So there's no one really with the same power as him? Maybe, I guess, right? The shadow I engage in battle isn't there. It's been flung against the estate's outer wall, impaled by a long thin object. Oh no, wait, what? I struggle to make sense of the situation right now. I figured that attacked me, a man apparently was run through with a rod-like object that flew from the side. The impact must have flung him against a wall. No human could survive something like that. But the thing isn't human though. He's actually talking now, yeah. His voice is hoarse. The man, his gut skewered, wheezes as he glares at the night sky. I keep my distance as I follow his gaze. And there... Whoa! Wait, ain't that Miss Noelle? That's Miss Noelle, right? I told you, man, she was different. She's something else. I see a familiar figure standing atop the street light. It is
ノエ
her.
ル先生。
Yeah, I told you from the beginning. Like the way she was acting, especially towards Shiki, it was different. She's dressed like a nun. In her right hand, she holds a narrow bladed sword. In her left, an absurdly massive halberd. I recognize the shape of the former, or to be more exact, part of my brain remembers it having entered my field of view. On a subconscious level, I know that it's the one of the swords that saved me from Volov's icicles. Wait, she did that there already? So she was helping them? Our eyes meet. She shoots me a smile, and in the next moment, she launches a sword at the shadowed figure.
聖堂よ、ある。
As she says the words, light bursts from the swords. You can see the lines in her face though, right? I can hear the air shift as she readied her halberd. She readjusts her grip and leaps down from the light, aiming for her target. The man cries out of flesh and bone are severed. The shadow-like substance surrounding him is dispersed by Noel's implement of war. The man, shadow and all, begins to dissolve just like the aberrant zombie I fought in the garage. He stares me down as his body fades away. His black, bloodshot eyes exudes hatred, as he were cursing my very existence. All I can do is stare dumbfounded. The man fades with the shadows that surrounded him, erased completely from this world, with no evidence he ever existed in the first place. All that remains are the sounds of wind and chirping insects. It feels just like any other night show. It's like the entire world is pretending that the man who screamed his heart out never existed. Meanwhile, I've been left with an equally strange person.
こんばんは。この国の夜は安全だと聞いていたけど、この辺りは物騒なのね。ちょっと散歩していたら、吸血鬼みたいな化け物が可愛い教え子に襲いかかっているんだもの。それとも、あなたの周りが特別なのかしら。どうの四季くん？
The woman turns to face me. She smiles with obvious unbridled hostility. Look at this. There's no mistaking it. It's none other than her school's latest substitute teacher.
ノエル先生っていいんですか？
そうね。先生って響きは悪くないけど、ここは学校の外なんだし。先生は外した方が何かと気が楽よね。お互いに。
Her foot falls reverberate in my ears. Noelle is getting closer. With a halberd in hand and an unsettling smile plastered on her face, she approaches. Okay, we gotta choose now. We gotta save first. Honestly, I don't know if you can trust this lady. Like, look at this. You can't even choose anymore. Oh my god, sorry. sorry. Let's treat her as an enemy, I suppose, right? Yeah, let's treat her as an enemy. It's pretty much the same choice, but let's just choose this one. I have to consider her my enemy, yeah. Will not relax ourselves, I mean. I meet her carefully without any outward signs of hostility. Though I can't match her reach with that pole arm, the second I make a move, she'll swing it gleefully. I need to be careful.
あれ？逃げもしないし構えもしないの？そっか。怖くて動けないんだ。やっぱり文系の美少年はそうでなくっちゃ。吸血鬼と舞をあんなことしてるくせに、かわいい。
Did they really know that as well? Even them? Or even with Shiki going out with Arcuade, they know that? Then why won't they do anything about the vampire? Or yeah, at least the bad one, the one who's killing the people. My weapon feels useless in the face of her reach. I have no room for error. But she does.
やっぱり、無抵抗な人間しか、相手にしてこなかったのかしら。ね！
What? She swings. What she means you've been only targeting defenseless humans. Does she think that they're actually killing people? It was easy to imagine an attack where her halberd cleaves my side in two, right arm and all. Her steel passes directly overhead.
転んじゃったの？
I fell forward to dodge the incoming halberd, which cleaves the air 80 centimeters above the asphalt. My whole body is nearly parallel to the ground. I kick just before I crash, launching myself upward toward the woman in front of me.
嘘！
I place my left hand around her waist, pulling her close like we're about to grace in the ballroom. But she got flustered by that? Is that it? My right hand, still holding the knife, arcs around to the back of her neck. I could kill her with the smallest movement. But before I do, part of me wonders if this woman is really my enemy.
なめんな！
She drops her halberd and grabs my right wrist, simultaneously sweeping my leg from under me. In judo, it's called an oso togari, a sweeping throw. I'm slammed into the ground, back first. This isn't like my fall from before. With enough strength in the throw, getting dropped like this can easily break a human.
でも今の切り返しはナイスよね。あいつの真似だけどめっちゃイケてた。
What? Noelle praises herself as she retrieves her polearm. Then she clears her throat pointedly as she places a heavy boot on my chest.
まあ、まぐれにしちゃなかなかだったわ。逃げようとして転んじゃったのはかっこ悪かったけどね。
A triumphant smile crosses her face as she shifts more of her weight to my chest. Something doesn't feel right, but there's no question about her hostility.
もしかしてあんたも吸血鬼だったのか。
It's a little late, but I ask anyway.
踏みつぶされる5秒前なのに余裕じゃない。今の質問も全然本気じゃないし。何？子供のくせにカマかけてきたわけ？そういうところは生意気で。先生、嫌いだな。
What is wrong with you? She makes a show out of her grinding her boot against my chest, but the pressure doesn't increase by much. Judging by how pissed she is at the mere insinuation, she might be a vampire. She's got to be a human. That aside, it's pretty unfair to go back to being a teacher just when it suits her.
首筋に新婚なし。靴に染み込ませた聖水にも拒絶反応なし。ついでに言うと、私好みのファニーフェイスにも変貌なし。か。はい。異端審査終了。だっていいわよ、当の四季くん。
The boot on my chest is finally lifted. Now free, I stand myself up and try to get my breathing under control. I'm hurting all over, but I think I got off with only some light internal bleeding. I mean, internal bleeding, that's bad, sir. Like, really bad.
はい、これメガネ。落とし物には気をつけなさい。
そうですか。そっちの横槍で落としたものですけど。
I take my glasses from Noelle and place them back where they belong. From Noelle. Now then, what the hell is going on?
とまあ、美少年が一人で出歩くと、こんな風に危険がいっぱいなわけ。忠告がてら脅かしちゃったけど、勢い食べちゃうところだったわ。
But yeah, the fact that they know everything, what Shiki's doing, I mean. Like, they've been watching from the shadows, right? Like, even as Shiki said earlier, yeah, I guess she helped Shiki when he was fighting against Vlov just a little bit, right? She laughs like she made a little mistake. I'm at a genuine loss of words.
あれ？何そのノーリアクション？
No reaction.
私たちのこと、吸血鬼に聞いてないの？聞いてないのね。あっそう。私みたいな雑魚は眼中にないってわけ。まあいいけど、私も話題になんかされたくないし。
But didn't Arcade said earlier that, yeah, for the church, yeah, she was asking when the battle with Vlov, right? Why aren't the people from the church here right now? Yeah, because they said maybe they didn't have a warrior, only executors. I don't even know. I don't understand that.
いいわ。パパッとレクチャーしてあげる。
Okay, thank you.
簡単に言うと、私は町を守る正義のお姉さんみたいな。クソ吸血鬼どもから人間社会を守る。影の組織とかかっこよくない？
She laughs as she speaks, which makes it difficult to judge how serious she's being. As dubious as her explanation was, it does remind me of something.
教会の代行者ってやつですか？
ええ、その代行者。
So, just an executor, I guess. Executor probably not that strong? Is that it? No, I mean, because yeah, I remember, yeah, it was Arcoade saying warrior, right? So maybe an executor is not really like can take on someone like Vlov, right?
四季君は無神論者でしょ？だから実感は湧かないだろうけど、私たち教会は主の皆のもと、人の良き営みを守る意志がある。たとえそれがこんな末法の国でもね。ある日突然転任してきた魅惑の美人教師は、その実、教会から派遣された正義のエクソシストだったってこと。
An exorcist, someone who purifies demons. I don't know if vampires counts as demons, but it doesn't seem like she's lying.
わかりました。いきなりのことで信じられませんけど、信じます。どうあれ、これで2度目ですし。危ないところを助けてくれて、ありがとうございます。
Arigatou gozaimasu.
2度目？ああ、そういうこと。でもまあ、今回は違うわ。たまたま危ないところに出くわしたんじゃなくて、私、最初から君を狙っていたんだし。
So Arcoade didn't even notice them? Is that it? Like really? She didn't really notice them?
最初から俺を狙っていた。
Like they were being followed, but nothing?
さあ、君が屋敷を出た時からずっと尾行していたの。私のお仕事は吸血鬼の殲滅だもの。その吸血鬼に従っている人間がいれば監視するのが当たり前でしょ。
Her logic tracks, but she's missing some important context. I'm not following Arcoade's orders, and besides, she's a good vampire. We're both trying to save the city.
それは。
まあ本当なら真っ先に吸血鬼の方から殺してるんだけど、相手はあの怪物でしょ。私一人じゃ返り討ちだし、師匠は上司に飛ばされちゃったし。
She's a total monster on a regular day, so it's not like I can beat her now. That the big boss sent my master back as well. Who's your master? Is her master the teacher here? Remember they had another homeroom teacher that was gone? Why, is that her master?
仕方なく
Or no?
小さい方の獲物に網を張ってたわけ。
小さい獲物ってのは俺のことですか？
ええ、あの怪物が狂犬なら四季君はプリッとしたエビちゃんね。吸血鬼にしろ私たちにしろ美味しい獲物なのは間違いなし。でもなんか様子が変だった。ここ数日君を監視していたけど無理やり従わされてる雰囲気じゃないし、血も吸われてないでしょ。
Because
ねえ
he
四季
isn't.
君、あなたなんであんな怪物と一緒にいるの？
I furrow my brow and swallow the words in my throat. It's not the way Noelle asked the question that bothers me, it's that she asked it at all.
おやだんまり。君は吸血鬼の仲間になりたいのかな。定番だけど永遠の命が欲しいとか？
は？
The question catches me by surprise. I never even considered that, but I guess it would be a natural reason to seek out friendship with a vampire.
いや、でも。
And that isn't possible with Arcoade. I mean, she doesn't drink blood and she doesn't create new allies or grant people's abilities. That sort of offer wasn't even on the table.
違うの？ならどうして？
そんなの決まってる。自分たちが住んでいる町のために吸血鬼を駆り出す協力をしているだけです。
I stare intently into her eyes. I'm not interested in going back and forth against her. But I won't sit here and let her say whatever she wants about Arcoade and me. I tell her as much with my gaze alone.
そう、君が噛まれていたならそんなザレ言と一緒に手足ぶった切って置物にしてるところだけど、残念ながらただの人間には手出しできないものね。今のは聞かなかったことにしておくわ。
Noelle turns around and begins walking away. She seems unable to accept the idea of fighting on the same side as a vampire, but at least she's calmed down a little. Or maybe an answer, or my answer, just made her lose interest.
ああ、でも忠告。さっき最初から君を狙っていたと言ったけどね。あれ、もっと深い意味なの。この町に救った使徒は数年以上前から根付いているわ。
For years.
私の師匠の言うことには神祖のように昨日今日やってきたわけじゃないんだとか。吸血鬼は外から来るものばかりじゃない。案外身近なところにいて何十年も前から潜伏しているケースのが多いの。それも町で一番力のある権力者の家にとかね。
Oh my god. So basically she's saying that, yeah, the vampire may be in the Tono mansion, right? Just lying or sleeping for decades. Is that it? I don't know.
わかる？ 自分たちの町を守るとか言っていたけど。
I mean, it kind of makes sense, I guess, though, right? No, maybe? That doesn't make sense, but you could say maybe that's why Akiha is always strict with curfew and all, but I don't know. Who knows, right?
そんな曖昧なくくりじゃなくて、君は自分の身を守った方がいいってこと。
それはどういう
And then when Shiki awakens, right? When he wakes up in the morning, it's like he feels always bad. Like, yeah, as I was saying, in other episodes, like whenever he wakes up in the morning, it feels like something happened before, like when he sleeps, and then before he wakes up, like something happens in between those times, right? Because yeah, whenever he wakes up, it's like he's feeling nauseous or anemic or whatever.
だってそうでしょ。さっきの不死は君を狙ってきたんですもの。吸血鬼を殺して回る神祖じゃなくて、ただの人間である君をね。命があったらまた会いましょう。どうの四季君。
I mean, we're gonna see you tomorrow in school, though. Or at school. With that, the woman dressed like a nun walks away. As she does, she tosses her gaze to a street lamp. Maybe I'll jump up there and hop my way home all cool like, nope, not happening. As if I can make the jump like that without running start. Like if I could, I wouldn't be even human. Her thoughts blatantly apparent, Noelle continues on down the road, a massive polearm in hand.
あれはあれですごい人っぽいような。
I mean, she really is though. I mumble, taken aback. As if uttering that comment, I took the last of my remaining strength, my knees give out from under me and I slump against the wall.
でも、狙われたのは俺だって。
It's not unfathomable, I am cooperating with Arcoade after all. But that's not right. I don't know what the real reason is, but I have a feeling that it isn't it. My vertigo returns with force now that my adrenaline has faded. With one hand against the wall for support, I make my way to the main gate. But honestly, what is happening, man? My chest hurts. I need to get to my room while I'm still conscious before my body completely gives out on me. I can worry about the rest later. No, like, what is happening earlier? Okay, let me just finish this up, I guess. But the gate is much farther than I thought. As my headache begins to ease, tension abandons the rest of my body. My back still up against the state's outer wall. I watch as I drift off to sleep. Like the one Ashiki was fighting earlier. That... Okay. It's a panther again? What? No, but yeah, when he was fighting earlier, like there was this, I guess an enemy with the same eyes as him. I actually don't understand. I mean, it's just confusing, yeah. Like, was the vampire there, the actual enemy there, and then suddenly he just left, he went away, I guess, afterwards? And then he was replaced by that undead that Noelle fought. Like, it's so fast because you can see what the characters or what you were fighting earlier. That's why it's kind of confusing, right? So let's say Shiki went home, Shiki fought with, let's say, the real bad guy right there, and then while fighting him, like he disappeared, right? Suddenly he disappeared, and then I guess another one attacked. So the another one attack was the undead, the how do you call this? A servant or minion of the bad guy, and then that is what Noelle killed, right? And then after that, after the battle there, Shiki and Noelle talk, right? I don't know. It's confusing. If they showed at least maybe the silhouette of the other one, maybe it would not be at least confusing. But it is. But we'll see, we'll see. But the church has been following Shiki for, I guess, a couple days now. They know about Arcade as well. And who knows what's gonna happen next, right? Arcade as well. She's feeling like bad, I guess. her instincts was kicking in earlier. I guess she was thinking about drinking Shiki's blood and trying to control herself. That's why she ran away. So yeah, technically a lot of things happened today. A lot of stuff. So anyways, we're gonna continue this and do more of a Tsukihime, A Piece of Blue Glass Moon in the next one. So I'll see you then, guys. Bye bye.